Hello and welcome back. I am Allmrak. This is the third game that we streamed from the second qualifier of the Coubertin Cup. You can find the second match here on the channel and the first over on DJParson's channel. I'll put a link in the description below. Now, this qualifier finals game is between relative newcomers treitze and LhuCaS, and the winner of this match moves on to the tournament finals. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this match, and if you are enjoying these videos, then please hit that like or subscribe button. Those mean a lot to me. They motivate me and I appreciate them. Now with that, here is the match.
It looks like we are about ready, so we can see what is going on. So I guess I can do this a little bit. So definitely take a look at the leaders, guys. Maybe Hannes is here. Can make a nice screenshot of that. And then I'm just gonna give us a little bit more space on the top row, like this.
Okay.
So we have no Pierre again, but Zizka. Maybe this time Zizka won't be forgotten. We will see. So treitze is the first turn. He can decide between library or the Hippocrates, but he goes for the library. And oh, we don't have that yet, but like this we should. Oh, looks. There we have the other screen. Oh, that doesn't look great. Just have to fix that really fast. I can't do that while we're waiting for the game, because then you would see all of that. And here's a really big screen apparently, so we have to make that a lot closer, smaller. So there we can see it. So we have of course again yellow and green from both of these players. So don't look at the colors, guys. We have treitze and LhuCaS, and right now it's treitze's turn, and he will, together with his library, go for Hippocrates apparently. Elect Hippocrates, build a mine, and I guess increase population. He could also take urban growth for next turn. And yeah, elects that pretty standard, going for one wonder from HA and a leader. And our LhuCaS will do basically the same, but he can't go for a leader yet. He will grab the pyramids, and his engineering genius will go with urban growth and can take Cleopatra next turn.
Yeah. That seems pretty good too.
And now it's back to treitze, who will get the first yellow cube from Hippocrates, which is really good for him. He will have to skip the politics and then build a lab. And then this first interesting thing to consider, maybe taking the monarchy here. I personally really like early monarchy, right? You can maybe go for the revolution. You don't want to take stockpile or cultural heritage. Maybe you also increase population and can go for a revolution next turn. Without having corruption, maybe. Yeah, this looks like a good way to spend your civil actions. You don't want to spend your civil actions on taking HA cards. You can take those from H1. So I think I definitely agree with that. And he draws a reds, and the first tactic being the phalanx. And now LhuCaS doesn't have an event, so we're not going to see events yet.
Which is good for treitze.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't, just won't corrupt them and prevent the...
And he can, from resources, he could finish the pyramids, but of course doesn't have the civil actions to do that. But Yeah, then probably using Cleopatra to build. Do you like that, building step first instead of the lab? I think I would have liked him to build a lab with Cleopatra and the urban growth.
I probably would have built the lab. That's what I tend to do. Yeah.
Now treitze will thinks about playing the rats. That is always a big decision. If you want to do that, you have to play around it. It's not like all of the other events. And yeah, it decides better of it, because like this you can just do revolution and not have corruption. If rats would reveal something like 2 resources or 2 food, he then would have corruption. So I definitely think I agree with that decision. And getting the early monarchy basically as early as you can.
Yeah. That is about as early as you can.
Yeah. And doesn't want the phalanx, gets territories for raiders. Maybe can plan around that. And then LhuCaS has the decision, does he go for Reign of Terror? But looks like we don't. Oh, now we see the first development card. Civil Life. And LhuCaS will build a lab with that, and then he can't use his urban growth. But probably still wants to do that.
Can't finish pyramids now either.
Yes, you can with the engineering genius.
Oh, yeah.
So that's pretty nice. Can
Yeah.
take breakthrough. And I guess the knights. Yeah, you already have the medieval army, so of course you want the knights. Seems perfectly reasonable. And yeah, the urban growth now is in our hand, but you probably will find a way to spend that at some point. So that is pretty nice. Can get rid of that aggression. So pretty standard up to this point. No real hard decisions yet. Nobody's playing kind of weird with a lot of aggressions or military in the beginning. Everybody just setting up their early game, going for the wonders, going for resource protection, and all of that. So treitze now thinking, what would you play? Would you commit to the rats? He does. Gets free propagation.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
And builds another temple, so another lab, so 3 philosophies for treitze here. That will, especially together with the library, that will really start your science production quite nicely. It does have a corruption issue now. It ends like this. So does he decide to go for one religion? Could also use the development of civil life to increase population instead. Yeah, looks like he's going back. I mean, he could also go for Isabella. She's there. She does give blue tokens. Hippocrates has already given all of his 3 yellow cubes, so I would definitely like that. Not staying on Hippocrates for too long. Or would you not take Isabella here? I mean, you get iron, so maybe you don't need the resource production as much, but you wanna... Hippocrates isn't giving him anything anymore, right?
Right.
So yeah, apparently doesn't like Isabella. I mean, she can be sometimes a little bit miss and hit. Hit and miss, I guess, but keeps developed territory and gets another one. So Isabella could be great. Then clear, we are gonna get bets as soon as H1 is over. I mean, you could say that treitze maybe didn't want to commit to Isabella because there's Zizka, and maybe he knows that Zizka can have quite an impact on a game. Oh, and we have to switch back to LhuCaS, who is going for some alchemies. Going up to 4 science production, so he did spend his urban growth there. Yeah, Zizka feels quite of peace. So LhuCaS maybe should think about where Žižka will be after his turn. Like this, treitze can get him for 2 civil actions. So that's something where we always have to consider. But he probably really wants the alchemy. That's a good way to spend resources with Cleopatra. So he still decides to go for that.
So I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I'm going to anyway. Hibu did manage to win.
Hibu able to win it. Really nicely done by him. So yep. He will have a chance to play in the finals as well.
So Hibu won, and he moves on. Yep, and he'll play Razmolda or whatever. And DJParson won. So DJParson is going to play Fabian.
Ah, interesting. Very, very nice. So treitze now he should definitely get rid of Hippocrates, I feel. Go for Žižka. Doesn't have a tactic yet, but yeah, that will be interesting what he goes for here. If he wants to go for his iron, if he wants to finish his library finally, that's still just sitting there, so a lot of stuff he wants to do, especially with Žižka also there. No, we didn't bet already because we always bet after the H1 is over, and treitze does go with Žižka here, so I think a lot of people will just bet on him because he does have Žižka. You tend to see that quite often. So, I mean, he did draw the Legion from the development of politics.
Yeah, that's something.
Can play that already, start his culture production. He has call to arms and uncertain borders in hand. We're not surprised to see both of them kept, but apparently he wants to keep his colonization cards and immigration. And now you could commit to uncertain borders and call to arms with Žižka if you like to do that.
Yeah. And can he draw? It's a little better.
Oh yeah. And he can get the knights. LhuCaS already has one. And LhuCaS now could play politics. He has both medieval armies in hand. So the question is, does he want to reveal that and give them to treitze?
Yeah, I would be really scared to do that.
Yeah. LhuCaS also needs a new leader. I mean, could go with Michelangelo and Zambitas if he wants to give Chad something to talk about. Chad really likes Michelangelo, but he has a lot of science production. Yeah, he'll have us over the Zambitas Basilica. Doesn't decide to go with Michelangelo as well. And if he plays like this, that will give him corruption. And I have to say, I don't really like the 4th bronze mine, do you?
I don't think so.
I mean,
if you're gonna get, yeah, and he's not. I don't think I do.
Yeah. You're gonna lose 2 more yellow cubes, probably before your next turn. I mean, yeah, you can say the St. Peter's Basilica will free up some population for you, but I don't think it's going to be enough, so you probably have to delete that mine eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he only can keep 2 cards, so 1 colonization and 1 army, or 1 tactic card. And draws vast territory. But treitze is the one going for colonies. And that would be interesting if he plays uncertain borders now, or the call to arms. Goes for uncertain borders, so we probably will see a lot of strength from him. Also, he needs a way to spend some resources, and he needs happy faces.
I might have thought about food there, potentially.
Oh yeah, get one more population out before the age is over. I guess he only loses one, so he's still...
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's not looking too bad. Could go for the iron now, maybe breakthrough. He needs happy faces. So yeah, breakthrough as well. Start his resource production next turn with rich land. He gets even more resource production. He still needs happy faces. Didn't really solve that, but yeah, goes up to 6 strength.
Yep, that's pretty strong.
And he has good knowledge. Reds are in there. That can hurt a little bit, right? He's gonna be at 3 food. Oh, so he goes back and takes the food. So good call, good call.
Oh, no, maybe not.
Maybe not. He's still undecided. Yeah. I guess we can't see the clock again, but I think we can manage without. Shouldn't run out of time anyway.
There's about 2 minutes left.
And yeah, it goes up to 6 strength.
Yeah.
Oh, getting rid of the colonization card. That's interesting.
Wants to keep those 2 strength events, I guess.
The barbarians, I mean, shouldn't he have more culture with Zizka? I mean, yeah, against St. Peter's Basilica, okay, but you have library and Zizka, so I think keeping the barbarians maybe not the greatest. So LhuCaS can go for Barbarossa. It really doesn't have enough food with that. That's interesting. And now he reveals the classic army. No, the medieval army. And can finish his St. Peter's Basilica. Can also take swordsman, and yeah, the big problem I guess is his food production, especially if you're gonna go for Barbarossa and only use him once. I don't know. You need more food to really make him work. At least he spends his food now before the Reds come, so might not regret that in the end.
And then you maybe hope to not keep Barbarossa for too long. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe getting good H2 leader early, and then I mean it's better getting Barbarossa than losing Cleopatra, I guess. And Genghis Khan also wasn't really a good option.
He did put his medieval army out.
Yeah.
I guess he kind of had to.
Oh, and there still was Saladin. Maybe I really would have even liked LhuCaS to, I don't know, wait for Saladin and lose Cleopatra, which also feels bad. So yeah. And there's the Reign of Terror. Didn't LhuCaS play that himself? I believe so. And now it looks like treitze can also get the Magic Castle if he wants to. Yeah, he will take the Magic Castle. This is looking so strong for him.
Yeah. That's a good pickup.
Having the iron going already. So he has enough resources to support that Magic Castle. And then yeah, strength is looking so good for him, and he starts producing so much culture. Still has the bonus from Hippocrates, so I think he should increase population. Because he has the knowledge that Reds are in, right?
Yes.
So being at 4 food before the Reds could come out seems questionable. So yeah, he sees that, and yeah, perfect. So it still looks pretty good for him. He does need some happy faces soon, but there are ways to get those. So not that big a deal. There's team sports. Maybe treitze can pick that up next. And LhuCaS.
Irrigation and selective breeding are there.
Oh yeah, irrigation will be gone, so treitze will not get any more food from that. From his normal irrigations, so I don't know, from his normal agricultures. So you're grabbing away the selective breeding for 3 this early can definitely be quite good. So LhuCaS has some good technologies in hand. Has iron and selective breeding. Can go for one of those 2 next turn. So I think I like that. I mean, not getting strategy. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe taking selective breeding and strategy. But looks like he doesn't want to go with the strategy. You can't grab everything away. It could...
Yeah, I'm not sure about the iron. I think that's maybe something you could do without here.
Yeah, with 4 bronze, if you can stay at 4 bronze, maybe you can skip the iron, maybe go for coal. And it's still not bad going for iron even this late. It's really, really helpful in a lot of positions with corruption and everything.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go, take strategy. Could also still take the iron, I don't know. It's a lot of technologies in his hand now, but I mean, he has 2 alchemies. I mean, I don't hate this, just taking important technologies away for 1 turn. I mean...
Yeah. Then selective breeding, and then you can get Barbarossa going again.
Yeah.
He has him that long.
So Cold War by treitze, and they are the reds. Pretty underwhelming reds,
right.
0 and 1 food. So could have been a lot worse. And yeah, treitze to get into team sports and urban growth. Here he really has a lot of science. He's also at 4 science production with the 3 labs and the library. But his big problem now is food. And I don't believe that we have ocean liner service in there, right? So
correct, we do not.
He has some. He's gonna have some problems with that. He's not gonna get a lot more population. So he has to do what he has to do with the population he's got for now. And maybe Suez Canal with a good colony can get him out of this trouble.
Yeah.
And also there's 1 colony in there, and he should pretty convincingly win that with all of his colonization cards.
Well, which one was it?
And that's a good question. Maybe... Sadly didn't look at that again, but...
Developed.
Ah, developed.
Territory.
Nice. So yeah, LhuCaS has to make some decisions. What do you want to go for now? Food this turn?
I think so. That's probably what I would try to fix now.
Can take efficient upgrade for one of those irons. Or the Harvard College. I mean, that's really, really expensive. He has taken the iron now, so you probably want to go for that. So next turn going with that and efficient upgrade, you can upgrade 2 irons. So maybe just efficient upgrade and reserves. It's maybe
like
something,
that,
yeah. It's probably something that I would like now in this position, but maybe he can find something that he likes more. Could only upgrade 1 of those selected breedings. Take Harvard College and Engineering Genius to support that. I mean, he doesn't need all the food next turn, but Yeah, probably
Yeah,
wants...
if he only gets 2 food, then he can't
Yeah.
use it yet.
I also really like getting both foods going this turn, but yeah, taking Engineering Genius without the Wonder.
Yeah. I mean, there are good wonders coming, so not bad.
Yeah, I probably still like Efficient Upgrade and maybe the reserves the most, and then going for Iron next turn.
I like that option also. I mean, you have a clear way to use Efficient Upgrade.
Yeah, that always
just
feels
reserve.
so nice. I mean, that's 3 resources for free. And if you're producing 4, that's almost doubling your production for that one turn. So yeah, efficient upgrades that you can just grab and use immediately. Feels so good. Not so sure about scientific method. I mean, you have alchemy, we really need scientific method as well. I'd much rather have the 3 resources than the option to go for scientific method.
I think so also, yeah.
Yeah, probably can't use those refugees, so yeah, I think this is looking pretty convincing for treitze at this point. He doesn't have as many problems as LhuCaS does. So I mean, treitze could also go for sewer scannel with the autonomous territory. Maybe he decides to play that instead.
I mean, I like LhuCaS' spot. I wonder what his plan is with the scientific method. I mean, there is Bill Gates and Einstein. Maybe he's just looking toward that just to be ready or something. But it seems a little early to.
Yeah, it definitely seems. Yeah, that's with alchemy going for scientific methods. So treitze gets this territory cheaply. And I mean, maybe just wanted to take that away. That's something that he could have thought about. I mean, treitze would be in a great position to go for scientific methods himself. Get more out of
it would have been discarded though, so it was already.
Ah, okay, so
Yeah,
that's interesting then. Yeah, treitze can now copy the medieval army. Goes up to 12 strength.
Yeah.
And his hussars even hand, so he is the perfect transition. We'll take 1 reserve, maybe even the other or the rich land for the last iron. Interesting what he's thinking about now. Does he think about the leader? Does he want Gaudi here? Does he want the architecture? No, reserves. I mean, I would probably like rich land even more, but with the reserves he could try to get out more population.
Yep. I mean, he's holding 1.
Yeah.
He just took that one.
Yeah, he goes with rich land instead.
I like that.
So now LhuCaS will have to decide what if he wants to go for the iron this turn. No wonder yet showing up for this engineering genius that he has had. Nice that you like the music, Jim. I'm doing that. That is. I mean, I'm not live performing. I'm not that talented. I'm doing casting and the music.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Maybe we can make that a little bit louder if you guys like that much. If it's too loud, just let me know. So LhuCaS can finally use Barbarossa again finally.
Yeah.
What else did he? Did he go for the dramas instead of the iron? That is, I mean, Then I'm questioning why he took the iron, and also I'm questioning why he took the scientific method if he doesn't have a clear plan. I mean, yes, he has 6 civil actions, so it's he can take some additional stuff that he maybe wants to use, but yeah, when you take iron, now is about the last turn that maybe it's still efficient, that you maybe can still justify going for that. Maybe it's already said, okay, I took that, maybe it wasn't the best. So he doesn't even plan for going with iron anymore, maybe he's waiting for coal. So I think, do you think he's regretting taking the iron?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's almost, you're almost getting late for coal even.
Yeah.
Now's the time. If he didn't have the first scientific method, he could take the other one away.
Oh yeah. Also there's Bach, maybe. I mean, treitze also hasn't committed yet to a new leader. So LhuCaS could wait with going for drama for Bach and then start the culture race.
There is going to be opera and Bach there together. Treitze wanted to try for that.
Yeah, he's really thinking about hovering over iron and scientific methods. Not sure which one of those he will go for. Really, the scientific method. Interesting that he goes for that and takes it back again. Just looking how it looks.
Yeah, just trying out some stuff.
This also gives him reserves. Yeah, very interesting. Also, they're running low on time, LhuCaS here. So there's the Suez Canal. So I mean, treitze has autonomous territory, has one other territory already. So that's definitely something you can maybe plan for the next turn, going for the Suez Canal. Oh, and the aggression from treitze on LhuCaS. Does he confirm? He does. Oh, we have to see. Does he sacrifice a unit? He does. Interesting. Or is he just thinking how that looks? Goes. He's thinking about confirming. He's yeah, thinking hard about that one. I mean, yes, sacrificing a knight if you don't have a lot of and it was successful without sacrificing the knight.
Ouch.
Ouch, yeah. You don't have a lot of resource production anyway. Yeah, that is definitely ouch for LhuCaS here. So pretty good by treitze. Seeing that also, right? He doesn't have that much more strength, so it could have been that LhuCaS could defend, but great catch. I mean, LhuCaS didn't have a lot of military actions, so it was pretty hard for him to defend. And yeah, now treitze I think has such a big lead, he just has to bring this game home. Has been doing pretty well thus far, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you have Jiska and Magic Castle. Things are going pretty well at that point.
Yeah. And yeah, that's always something that's interesting that you have, that I find interesting. How would this game have gone if that was the other way around? If these players switched positions, would they have found the same ways, or would they have gone for different plays?
Right.
And LhuCaS now, yeah, still with only 2 military actions. He's had that strategy for a long time, but now he's lost both of his alchemies. Doesn't have a lot of reserves, so rebuilding those is going to be pretty hard. So maybe drama, I don't know. That was a little bit too dangerous, going for the drama there. At least has revolutionary idea in hand. Yeah, you could go for a Watt and the coal here. What would you think about that? Is that too late now? Or would you still like that?
I mean, I don't think it's too late. I mean, he's in a bit of a desperate situation here, so what else can you do to improve your situation? I mean, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, I think there's nothing else really that he could go for. I mean, yeah, he could go for Bach and pray for no wars from treitze, and apparently that's what he wants to do. But yeah, it's a really tough decision here for him. Nothing feels good when he's so far behind. Everything has so many drawbacks that you never feel good about your plays. So finding the least bad play is kind of how you have to look at it.
I wonder where that rifleman's going to end up.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Does treitze have swordsman? He doesn't, right?
No.
And
No, he doesn't. Because, I mean, if LhuCaS can go to Bach and get the rifleman, maybe he can hold them off for a while.
yeah. Okay, so treitze will have his turn now. It will be interesting if he goes for cannons. I mean, he has the hussars in hand, so doesn't need them for that tactic. It's not the most efficient one, but maybe it's enough. Also, I think I would really like the Suez Canal. Sadly, can't finish that this turn. But besides that, he has nice science production. As we said, the only thing he's missing is the food. But he's managed. He got the scientific method to upgrade and everything. So I definitely still like his position. And as Weidenbaum said in chat, he has 2 ST Wonders and ST Leader in LhuCaS. So yeah, if the game goes so nicely for you, you're doing something very right.
So here he can probably, well, I mean, he replaced Zizka. He's a little weaker, and he knows in certain borders is next.
Oh yeah,
Try
that's
to fix that here.
yeah. He can go up to 14 with the cavalryman, and then I guess you could grab the Suez Canal. I mean, with cavalryman staying at hussars is totally fine, in my opinion.
Yeah. It seems, well, so far in this game it looks that way.
It's gonna be interesting again if LhuCaS goes for a lot of culture production with Bach here, if that means that treitze will have to catch up, like we saw in the first game. I think Damon Cleaner mentioned that in the chat right now. Yeah, that I think the difference is that treitze is ahead in culture already, and that was the big difference between those two games, right? Genghis was ahead by about 50 culture, and that really put Lao Wang in a tough position, and he had to catch up so much. This game, treitze is even ahead in production and in everything else. So now taking a look what...
helps.
Oh, LhuCaS already going with his turn. Sorry, I was a little bit late there.
So he was able to grab, well, potentially grab 2 breakthroughs.
I mean, if you're sitting at 2 science production, that definitely feels like a lot of science.
And he can get the cannon. I mean, he doesn't have a great way to use it, obviously, yet. No tactic or anything, but he could grab it.
Yeah, especially grabbing that away from treitze. And if only he knew what events were coming on certain borders, and a lot else that depends on strength. I guess he would maybe. I guess. Do you go for the rifleman? You haven't drawn a tactic that needs a rifleman. Your opponent won't be going for any tactics that require them.
Yeah, it's worth consideration for sure. I would at least take it. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, riflemen and cannons, I guess maybe he skips one of those two now. And he stays weakest. That is... yeah, that's gonna give a lot of problems to him. So we're gonna see how he handles those. And what treitze does with his turn now. He still has two territories in hand, so he could play one, get the other one with the autonomous territory. And yeah, probably decides to play the developed. And that will reveal the uncertain borders. And green even getting more yellow cubes. So yes, we talked about how his food was his big weakness, but his yellow bank is looking so nice with the colony that he got, and now with the extra ones that he stole. That and now he can take food from the autonomous territory. Yeah, this is looking great. You're very welcome, Demon Cleaner. We're having a lot of fun hosting this. I'm at least. I hope you are as well, Allmrak.
Oh yes.
I mean, it can be quite stressful.
You're welcome. Thank you for watching.
So treitze going up to 24 strength. I don't really see a way. LhuCaS is still behind in culture production, behind in strength, behind in science production. I guess, yeah, with the resource production that treitze now gets as well. How are you gonna come back from this? I guess the final nail in the coffin was that raid. That treitze, for me, kind of all of the sudden was able to pull off. I guess he saw that LhuCaS was at this only 2 military actions, so that was a great move. So maybe LhuCaS should have gone for an earlier strategy. Who knows? And LhuCaS goes with... Okay, doesn't really know what he wants to go for with a breakthrough. Goes for a scientific method. I would be really interested to know why he's so fixated on getting that scientific method out. Maybe he wants to go for Bill Gates now to save his resource production. Then I could understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at least he has a lot of defend cards, so treitze might see the possibility again to go for another aggression, but LhuCaS has drawn those at least. Tries out the coal now, which is very, very late coal. So yeah, he's really struggling to find something that would be good for him. I mean, getting up more resource production, if the game goes on, and it could definitely go on for a little bit longer, because both of them don't have the most civil actions, and if green doesn't take a lot, then maybe that pays off still.
And if you're LhuCaS here, are you concerned about treitze taking Bill Gates?
I mean, yeah, I
think so.
Yeah. Getting away from nationalism and military buildup. I mean, that's kind of showing if you're afraid of your opponent's military and he also has more culture production. That tells you how bad the game is going, right? If you have to grab those military buildups, he should be the one who's afraid of you, but in this game, everything's looking nice for treitze.
Yeah, LhuCaS just is not getting tactics, so that's tough.
So treitze call to arms. So will treitze go for Bill Gates here? I mean, he has the scientific method, so if he wants even more resource production from the Suez Canal and the iron, and then Bill Gates, he will have a lot, and I think I would agree with taking that. Taking Bill Gates, especially taking him away from LhuCaS, taking options away, yeah, go for that. I think you play him this turn as well. I mean, you're gonna lose 3 culture production, so you have to find a way to get some more culture. Maybe take movies. You're gonna have a lot of resources from Bill Gates.
Still is struggling with population, but you can tear down those irons at that point if you need to.
Yeah, that's always great. Bill Gates freeing up those irons. Okay, does grab the movies. I think if you go for this, you can play Bill Gates this turn. I mean, the question is, do you rather have 4 resources or 3 culture? And I guess maybe it's a couple of civil actions from Darwin still. So yeah, both pretty reasonable, I guess. So doesn't play Bill Gates yet, and yeah, what is LhuCaS' plan now? He just treitze just got a lot more resource production potential, and LhuCaS now still struggling. I mean, he's gonna get some resource production as well, so that will finally pay off. Maybe can build a couple of dramas. But after 1, he can't even go for more. But 10 culture production is definitely going to help him catch up a little bit. Question is just going to be if it's enough, right?
Military is a little low. So you have to be concerned about that also. He can. Okay, yeah, he's looking to fix it.
Yeah, the problem is you're fixing it, but you spend 6 science on that, and you produce 2. I guess it could be okay if you could build a couple of dramas, but yeah, he's missing a new government form for that. So after those 2 dramas, getting more culture production now is going to be pretty hard. So LhuCaS thinking long and hard about this.
Yeah, it's sort of the spot in the game where you're just grasping for ways to try to make it work.
Yeah. And opponent seems to be ahead in almost every aspect, and yeah, that can feel pretty rough, and you're trying to find something, trying to solve this puzzle, which is going to give you the win, but you just can't find the missing piece. Go for Gandhi, so... But I don't think treitze's plan has to be military. He has so many options that this probably won't really affect his game plan too much.
Yeah. He's probably... I mean, you can just get into movies. Start getting some culture that way. I mean, I mean, not that you were worrying too much, but you can pretty much stop worrying about military at this point.
Yeah. Looks like a bit of harmony by treitze, and he gets the Cold War. He has 30 science, yeah. I mean, if he wants to, he can go for fundamentalism. Still threatening the wars. I mean, if he isn't careful, then LhuCaS definitely can still catch up with the culture. He's producing more at the moment. So I'm not sure if I like what treitze is doing now. Still, after seeing Gandhi picked, still wanting to go for military. Can't just switch into movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too. What I would go for.
Oh, that is. That just was some alarm. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Just, yeah.
So he's thinking about the movies. Can't actually build one. What did he spend his resources on? I guess he upgraded scientific methods. One of them.
Okay, I'm back. I think that just was some misfunction. Don't worry, my kitchen is not on fire or anything. So anything...
Is your lunch and dinner?
Yeah, sadly not. That is not even on the way yet. But...
no, he's just thinking about the movies. He can't actually build a movie, though, if he upgraded his scientific method, which he was thinking about doing as well. Still not elected Gates, which I think he probably should do here.
Yeah, Gates. I mean, yeah, 3 culture production is 3 culture production that you have to get all of these resources that you get from Bill Gates, but I think you can easily do that. It just means 1 more movies next turn.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of fun thinking that I have my house on fire, so that's good to know. At least you're enjoying it. If I was like streaming while being on fire, but that would be the last thing I wanted to do. So everything around me would be on fire, but I would still be here for you guys. So LhuCaS' turn. He has 2 impacts in hand, but balance could be okay. Balance could be okay, but yeah, colonies not really, and yeah, it's basically the same again. Yeah, don't worry guys, I know it was just fun, don't... Also nothing happened, so yeah. It gave me quite a shock for a moment hearing that, and I thought, but my first thought was, oh no, that is inconvenient, and not, oh, it's actually on fire. Was just unsure if I had to check on that. But yeah, LhuCaS down 17 strength, down culture. I think we have to play Gandhi now. I mean, if not, then picking him didn't really do you any favor. And he still can't go for another drama. Still at despotism. And I guess it's gonna stay that way with 2 science production. He really never recovered after that, losing those 2 alchemies. My drink water alarm. Oh yeah, luckily I don't need a drink water alarm, guys. I know how to say it, hydrated even without that. Yeah, Bach is definitely not a big fan of despotism, I agree, and yeah, I think I also agree with playing Gandhi here. He gives you less culture production than Bach, but if you don't elect him now, then he might just do nothing for you. I like going for that fast food chains. You should definitely be able to finish that, and that will be quite a lot of culture, so if it gets really, really close. But you have to play Gandhi here. You can't defend at all. So you have to go for Gandhi and hope that that makes it so treitze can't go for the war.
And that would, playing Gandhi costs him, what? Only 2 culture.
Yeah. 2 culture for, I don't know, 3 military actions that treitze can't use for the war that he should be counting. So LhuCaS should know that the war should be coming. But I guess he wants to risk it for the 2 culture production, but interesting. So I think this means treitze does have quite a good war.
Is he? I don't think he's holding one, is he?
We're gonna see. Oh, he doesn't. So the gamble may be paying off, even though the armed intervention will come through.
Yeah, and he couldn't have. LhuCaS could. I mean, Gandhi wouldn't probably have stopped that.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Stasi, thanks a lot for the sub, man. Really appreciate that. Coming down on this really exciting final for the qualification at least, and yeah, thanks a lot for that subscription, man. Really appreciate that. Sadly, we don't have the Manhattan Project in this game, right? So we can't get more of those sounds.
And
treitze, yeah, I completely agree with going for more movies. I don't think there's any way that that plan can catch on fire like my kitchen. That is pretty safe.
Safe like your kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. So treitze will take revolutionary idea away from LhuCaS, of course. Take computers that can come in quite handy with Bill Gates if in the end you need some more end culture from him. And he still has enough military actions to maybe draw that war that he needs. And okay, I mean, he can also go for military theory, so Gandhi won't even help that much.
Yeah, that's all if you are able to actually draw the war.
Yeah. But I like seeing treitze go for different roads. I mean, there are the wars, but if you lose such a game as this because you didn't draw the war and you know you could have gone and won by culture or culture production, that feels really, really bad. So if there's an option between winning by war or by culture production and both are pretty safe, then you should always go with the culture production.
Yep.
So LhuCaS, I mean, he has input of agriculture and balance in hand, and if treitze doesn't get mechanized agriculture, both of those impacts will be really bad for him. So I think that could be a plan that makes LhuCaS come back, and he also has that wonder still, so maybe counted him out too early. He did produce quite a lot of culture with Bach.
Yeah. Internet is sitting there for treitze, who can probably finish that.
Yeah, he will have 2 more turns. Yeah, he should definitely be able to do that. So LhuCaS, will he play Gandhi now? I mean, it's now or never, right? Why did you pick him if you're not gonna go for him this turn? Oh, and he decides he doesn't need the labs anymore, so he also won't be going for the input of balance. Not sure why he's deleting all of his stuff, what he needs that for. Wants to go for more military. I mean, maybe didn't like getting that aggression on him, but you can play Gandhi and then commit to the military if you really need it, but as long as treitze doesn't play the war, I don't see a reason why you would build up more military, really. That's not how you're gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, you can just build a unit. I mean, I guess those units were kind of free because he had the resources from the card.
I mean, he had to delete one of
Yeah.
his mines for that. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess being able to defend against the next aggression. But I think if you see an aggression next, maybe you're fine with that. But yeah, can't blame him too much on that. I think I can blame him on not electing Gandhi here. 2 culture for the security that Gandhi kind of gives.
Yeah, and it's a CA now at this point because age is gonna end.
Oh yeah, that as well. So Will tries to go for the war now with the military theory. I guess he doesn't have enough for air forces and the military theory, and I guess he doesn't really need to. Oh, and there is Manhattan Project actually, so that's interesting. So Gates might still go for computers here and then maybe finish Manhattan Project next turn. I guess he's counting for the war at this point. He also sees that LhuCaS does not have H2 tactics in hand, so he can't all of a sudden go for the classic army or something like that.
Feels bad to have a war against you when you're holding Gandhi in your hand.
Yeah, if that Bach was Gandhi instead, treitze couldn't go for the air force. He would have to go for the military theory and maybe build 2 more cavalrymen. Might be what he does anyway, but and he grabs internet, just goes for military build-up. I hope he's not miscalculating his chances or anything. Guess he will go for 2 cavalrymen as well, deletes his irons. And then treitze can. I guess he doesn't want internet anymore because he couldn't finish that. I mean, with engineering genius he could. Yeah, so probably take the internet. Then maybe upgrade one of those labs with your urban growth. That's for free and gives even more resources.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good way to spend your urban growth. Yeah, you get those resources back anyway. I just hope that LhuCaS doesn't. I mean,
it doesn't look like there's much LhuCaS can really do.
Yeah. Doesn't have any signs to get anything that would help him that much.
No.
And now LhuCaS loses Bach here, so yeah, I guess he can go for Emperor of Agriculture, maybe something good in the deck that could help him a little bit. Can go for 1 more knight, but that is gonna be very, very little extra strength for him. So that worked out pretty nicely for treitze, going for the cavalrymen and the hussars, because LhuCaS doesn't have anything good for himself now.
Yeah, I mean, LhuCaS was in the unenviable spot of really not getting any tactics through most of the game. I mean, like, just nothing in H2 that really helped them set a better military direction. Yeah,
and he really would have needed that. I mean, he had a really rough early game, and then he would have at least needed a really solid tactic. Like if he had if he had classic army now, that would at least help him quite a lot. Oh, I guess he can go for another knight. He just has to be careful that he maybe can finish his wonder next turn, but I guess with this war won't really matter.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
And he can take Endowment of the Arts. That's gonna be another 4. That's gonna be another 6 culture for him after the war, and maybe set himself up so he can finish the fast food chains. And that's the best he could do. So taking reserves so he can finish that, I guess.
Yep.
Yep. Could also spend a sufficient upgrade on the coal, I guess. Okay, I decided to go for Endowment of the Arts. Can get rid of one more, and with 34 at least, it's not gonna be too bad, but yeah, this should be really enough for treitze, who might even have Wonder for himself. And of course has the War for Culture still.
I don't know.
So 16 for treitze, so he's at 99.
So he's up 20 moment. Yeah.
No, almost 40, right? LhuCaS is at 60 now.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah, he just lost a lot from the war.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep, there it goes.
So also LhuCaS can't defend, just missing 2 strength for that. So he will have to concede, and that makes it so he can't even finish his wonder. So that
Ouch.
feels really, really rough.
It does. That does not feel good at all.
And treitze able to finish internet for himself. And also 19 culture for him. So yeah, this looks like a very clear winner in treitze after having such a nice early game with the library, Image Castle, and Jan Žižka.
And Bill Gates.
And Bill Gates, yeah, a lot of S tier leaders. If only had gotten Nobel as well, but Darwin worked really, really nicely for him. So props to that. And you can't build another. You have to finish the internet. So yeah, you have to.
Simple action short too.
Yeah. I mean, nice of him to try to maximize all of his culture that he can get. Goes for democracy instead. I don't think that's more, but like skipping the democracy to go for that, it won't really matter. So yeah, doesn't have to overthink it. He played really, really well. So well done by him, and can maybe let that last missing 1 culture or something, we can maybe let that slip. So LhuCaS can play the impact of agriculture and develop territory. Maybe can get that for himself. Willing to bid up to 17 for this. Quite a lot for that developed territory. Don't think there's any impacts in there that might matter. And has to send away 9, so just one of those armies. So that means, yeah, with losing the extra resources to the aggression, he can't finish the fast food chains. He can go for the Endowment of the Arts, reserves, but he can't really do a lot with that. Can't even spend the science that he just got from the territory. And yeah, that feels pretty bad, not being able to finish that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly 3 short.
Yeah, exactly those. You calculated that perfectly. 3. Yeah. So LhuCaS trying to find, I mean, it's good sportsmanship, just trying to maximize his culture in the end. I guess he shouldn't overthink it too much, but yeah, going for a couple of religions. And then maybe, I don't know, use the efficient upgrade to upgrade the last coal. Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Makes your civilization look better.
Exactly, looks a lot more balanced if you don't have those small bronze mines left.
I mean, I guess you could try to get a lab for variety. I don't know if we've seen that.
I mean, you just put in a bit of agriculture. Yeah, it seems a little bit pointless now talking about his way to maximize his last little bit of culture, but this looks good with the extra food and everything. So did he finish his turn yet? Oh yeah, we can see on the other screen. And a bit of agriculture, so it will come down to strength as well, 158. He gets some more from Bill Gates. Don't forget about that. Not that impactful in this game, but 164 against 101. So congratulations to Treitze for qualifying for the main event.
Very good game. It was well played.
Yeah, really, really good showing by Treitze here. Really well done indeed. So guys, we are back and with the final results of today's qualifier for the Coubertin Cup, a new story of the Olympics. And first of all, I want to thank all of you guys for watching today, all of the players for playing, those on stream and off stream, and of course Allmrak for joining me again and organizing a lot of this behind the scenes, and of course casting together with me. Really appreciate that a lot, that you do so much besides the stream and on the stream. I'm really happy that I don't have to do everything besides the stream and can concentrate on the rest.
No problem. You know, it's a little self-serving because I get to come here and chat with you and watch these great matches and interact with chat, so that's really great. So, you know, I get something out of it too.
Yeah, everybody gets something out of that, and that is the best thing. So I hope you guys are ready for the results. We're gonna hop onto the bracket. Oh, that's the wrong bracket. Oh, I really failed on that one, but okay. So in the bottom we have Kimmo being able to win against MM34NN, 159 against 118. So really well done by Kimmo. Had not an easy road, but he did qualify. Then we just saw Treitze against LhuCaS, 164 against 101. Then Fabian able to win against TTA. We already knew that. And sadly, we have to tell you guys that in the game Hibu against Rasmulde, there was a timeout by Rasmulde after he had some difficulties. You just saw that now being updated, the score. Rasmulde apparently had some issues. He went really low into reserve, and well, he said that he had some, like, he clicked end turn in time, but the game didn't register it like that, and we have to make the decision based on what the official game does, and that timed out Rasmulde. So sadly, Rasmulde gets, or Hibu gets the win by default. Not a great situation for anybody. That's not great for Hibu, that's not great for Rasmulde. That really sucks overall, but yeah, nothing we can really do about that. Exactly as Rasmulde is saying in chat right now, he didn't time out on purpose or anything. Just sucks for everybody involved. So maybe in the next time we can put in like a reminder that you don't go down too much, because there might be issues with the server. And yeah, that. So
I mean, definitely, I think it's a hard situation, but thank you to the players involved, Hibu and Rasmulde. That was handled very well by everybody. And you know, I mean, on the bright side, Rasmulde did beat Genghis by 2 points in the previous round. We can just imagine what that match would have looked like So it's really great that he pulled that win out and made it into the finals of the qualifier. So, on the bright side.
Yeah, exactly. Also, really, yeah, both of the players were really understanding and really matured about everything. And that is really nice when these decisions come to us organizers, and everybody's so nice still, even after something like that happening. So thanks a lot to Rasmuld and Thibaut for being very understanding and everything. And congratulations for Hibu for qualifying as well, and then Fabian, Treitze, and Kimmo as well. If you're,
so it'll be interesting. Maybe we'll see a Kimmo Payada rematch.
Oh right, that was the last qualifier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.